V4YAV Anti-Knife Campaign 2018. Knives destroy lives. Let's put the knives down. Let's come together because so many lives are being affected by knives. V4YAV Anti-Knife Campaign 2018.
So this is an anti-knife campaign on behalf of Voice for Youth Against Violence. I'm going to be speaking about my experiences. So rolling with knives is just fully not worth it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to go out, roll with some little petty knife. You don't know what you're doing with that. You know what I mean? You're going to end up stabbing somebody, or you're going to get stabbed. Do you know what it's like to take a life? Do you know what sort of consequences and what sort of backing that takes? You know, that's not, you know, it takes 2 seconds to whip it out and stab somebody, but it takes a whole life to repay them actions. You know, you're going to go prison. You're not going to get, like, you're not going to be able to run away from it. You know, it's inevitable. We're living in Big Brother world. There's cameras everywhere. You know what I mean? People should be promoting more change. You know what I mean? You need to really think about what you're doing when you pick up that knife and roll with it. Like, are you serious? Like, there's so many other ways around it nowadays. Do you know what I mean? If you're like 16 to 24 years old sort of thing, you can go to college, you can learn a trade, you can do little bits and bobs. Yeah, it ain't great. Do you know what I'm saying? Just think about what you're doing when you pick up the knife. It's life-changing consequences. You know what I mean? It's actually mad. Like, it's like giving birth. Do you know what I mean? Like, if your sister gave birth to a child and you went and saw that child, it's just like that, but in the reverse of it. Do you know what I mean? You're taking somebody's child away. You're doing an action that's going to be settled. You know what I mean? It's written on stone. That is you. You're done. You're now labelled as that person. Do you know what I'm saying? There's so many other ways around it. You really need to think about what you're doing. You think the knife that you're carrying, yeah, that you think you're going to back out and potentially stab someone or intimidate someone with, you think that statistics say that could be turned against you, that your own knife could get used against you. It could be in your body, hurting you. You could become the victim of your own crime. Just think about what you're doing when you're picking up knives. When you're trying to conceal these things in your body, the risk you're taking, you're putting sharp blade against your skin, trying to conceal it from feds, trying to walk on the road all paranoid and that, but the person that gives you the eyeball could be innocent average Joe Bloggs, but you think at that one point, he's giving you the eyeball, he's giving you a little dirty screw, you're going to back it out, and what, he might just flip it back on you and kill you, or stab you. It's not worth it. Community and a society of 2018, human beings, where we're intellectual enough to know that we should be campaigning. Everybody should be campaigning. If you're living in an area that have had stabbings and people, you know, people that are rolling with knives or something, we should be campaigning, telling these people to stop, put down the knives. You know what I mean? If you think your grandson, your nephew, or your brother, or anybody in your family, I'm not even specifically saying men, anybody in your family, in your circle, just talk to them and tell them the real effects. Do not gas it, just tell them the real genuine effects of what their consequences are going to be. It's not going to be nice. No one wants to do it. V4YAV Against Knives 2018.
V4YAV Anti-Knife Campaign 2018. Okay, the story I want to share with my situation is that on a day-to-day I am a maths teacher, but I am personally a victim of knife crime, and it was a near fatal stabbing. As you can see, I was a victim that hit my artery, and I was supposed to die on the spot within 3 minutes. And if it wasn't for the ambulance service, I wouldn't be here today. It was a situation where I was coming home from work and I had to intervene in a situation that didn't involve me in any particular way. It was just something that I saw on the streets and I had to do something about it. I couldn't just stand there and watch, or I couldn't just walk away and go home and pretend like nothing is going on. And I think building on that, being a school teacher on a day-to-day, I see the youth and the things they deal with on a day-to-day within school and outside of school. And I've come to realise one thing: society as a whole has become desensitized to the whole situation on knife crime and how prevalent it is within London. My life is not the same. It has affected me in every sense of the word. It has affected my family. I have to look over my shoulder every single day. I am in constant pain, and the people that did it, they're still out there, and every day the situation gets worse and worse. And if we've seen it on New Year's Day, there were a lot of stabbings all around London and nothing is being done about it. Society is putting it on the hush hush, and the message is not getting out there because we are not raising enough awareness for the youth, for the kids to understand the emphasis that is required with the lessons of empathy that they need, which they are not receiving, and they need to understand they are big consequences for what actions they do on the streets, including knife and gun crime. Knives destroy lives, and it destroyed mine, so leave the knives at home. V4YAV, Anti-Knife Campaign 2018.
Anti-Knife Campaign 2018. Think before you act. Knives destroy lives. They destroy lives of mothers, sisters, daughters, fathers. They destroy everyone's lives. So in 2018, let's put away the knives. Let's make a change. Let's be united. Let's do something. Anti-Knife Campaign. Miss Ghana UK 2018. This year we are raising awareness about knife crime, to be precise. Anti-knife crime 2018. We need to do a lot more. We need to love ourselves a lot more. We need to be more united and care about ourselves a lot more. We matter. Our lives matter. So many young people's lives are being taken due to knife crime. It scares me, it worries me that people that could be my brothers, I look at these young men and they could be someone that I know, someone that I see on a day-to-day basis. It scares me when we need to do so much more about it. We need to care more than what we do. We need to do more than what we have already done. Let's really push for this anti-knife campaign to be something bigger than what we even believe it can be, because we could effectively save lives and change people's lives. This year, join us in the anti-knife campaign. Miss Ghana UK are backing this as well, and we really believe in it and we're passionate about it, so please do so as well. This is the Anti-Knife Campaign 2018.
DJ Genesis representing for V4YAV Media, voice for the youth, Anti-Knife Campaign 2018. Right now we're telling them put down the knives. We've been telling them put down the knives, and since the year started already we're seeing a number of increase on knife crime. Over 5 already. 2018, we're just almost 15 days in, you know what I mean, and we're seeing knife crime fluctuating already, you know what I mean, as we're starting the year. So I'm telling the youth them right now, telling all the young men out there, and even the young females that's out there that may be carrying a knife or maybe thinking to carry a knife, I'm telling you right now, put down the knife. You understand? Don't even think about picking up that knife. Don't even think about stepping out the front door with that knife. Yeah, leave the knife alone. Yeah, as we know, it's a very dangerous weapon. It does very harmful things. We're human beings, we all bleed the same blood. So leave the knife alone. Put the knife down. What we also have to remember is when a stabbing takes place, or if a stabbing's been taken place, we have to understand and overstand the effect that it has on the people surrounding that situation, the community surrounding that situation. When we're talking about affected people, we talk about loved ones for that person who may have been stabbed. We're talking about their relatives, relatives, that person's friends, you know what I mean, that person's motivators, that person's innovators, you know what I mean. There's so many people that just from one stabbing, there's so many people that it affects, you know what I mean, and it travels, it transcends. And I think the main people that it has a great effect on is only the youth, you know what I mean. It's only the youth that it really impacts and really resonates with, because they're the ones who's still growing. They're the ones who's really taking in everything that's happening in the world and that's happening in their environment, that's happening in their communities. You know what I mean? So it's really the children that we've got to think about when we're doing what we're doing, because as the older ones, we're supposed to be leading by example. As we know, there's no safe place on the human body that's ever safe to even stab somebody, even think about stabbing somebody. There's nowhere safe on the human body that can be stabbed and that won't be hurt or affected or be harmed. So you have to bear that in mind as well when you're going forth to ever think about stabbing someone or even think about walking with a knife. You know what I mean? The consequences are, again, also are very high. You know what I mean? We're talking about prison time. We're talking about time away from your family, time away from your loved ones. You know what I mean? So it's high consequences. There's many things to think about when you're drawing for that knife. You know what I mean? So we have to remember these things and think about these things and bear these things in mind, to leave these weapons at home. Yeah, leave these weapons at home. So people, remember. Parents, remember. Uncles, aunties, brothers, sisters, remember. Leave the knives at home. This is the V4YAV Media anti-knife campaign, voice for the youth. Put the knives down. Leave them alone. Leave them at home.